By the end of this year, traditional search is predicted to drop by 25% because everybody is searching with things like GPT search, Perplexity, and Google AI overviews. And if you are invisible to these new AI search engines, your business is not going anywhere. I've spent the past year and some in our community and with some clients trying and testing these strategies that are getting our community members mentioned in Google AI overviews and even getting GPT to recommend their services to the right clients. And in this video, I'm going to give you the playbook that you need to follow in 2026 to get found in the AI search engines. Let's get started with the first thing is that the fundamentals still matter. Meaning you cannot optimize for the AI search engines without optimizing for the normal search engines. To throw all the acronyms at you, there is no GEO or AEO without SEO. The traditional search engine methods still work, and without those, you are not going anywhere. Things like traditional SEO, is your technical on-site SEO done correctly? Do you have good, valuable content? Do you have good backlinks? These things still matter and are a must if you even want to be considered showing up in the AI search engines. Now, SEO is a pretty big subject, thankfully. I've done a 3-hour long SEO tutorial that I'll leave a link below that you can go watch that'll help you understand how to do SEO. Now, if you're already doing SEO, you need to figure out if what you're actually doing is working, because we might spend a lot of time publishing blog posts and uploading our services pages without realizing that Google isn't even indexing them, meaning it's not even placing them in their database. And if it's not doing that, again, you're going to be invisible to all the other AI search engines. A quick way to double check if the work that you're doing is actually doing any good is using Google Search Console. This is a free tool provided by Google that just tells you how your website is performing on their search engine. With your Google Search Console verified, you want to go to this page, this section, pages, and scroll all the way down here. Now, if you've got this message that says crawl, currently not index, we can see that a lot of those pages that you spend a lot of time on aren't even being recommended or showing up in Google's database. And this is Google's passive aggressive way of really saying, look, I read your content, but I don't think it's good enough for me to even waste my time to put in my database. And what you really need to do is take a look at these pages, whether they are service pages or blog post pages, and see if you can improve them. And if it's your blog posts that aren't getting indexed, you need to understand that you need to write better content that is optimized for the AI search engines. I've done a checklist that I'll leave linked below that you can just kind of follow when you are writing content. All these things you can kind of tick off. You need to inject your experience, be precise and cut the fluff, write at an 8th grade reading level, and back up your statements with data. There's a little bit more to this, and if you want a deeper dive, I've just done a video on this. And to take it a step further, you want to write with a specific strategy in mind, and this is called the Capsule Content Strategy. Fancy name, but it's very easy execution. Really, what you need to think about is when you're writing content, you need to figure what the questions are that somebody's asking about this content. Those questions need to be in the headers like H2s or H3s, and you need to answer that question as quickly and as precisely as possible as you can below that H1. Let me give you an example, and let me show you that it actually does work. If I search for how do I write content that will appear in the AI search engine, I get the AI overview provided by Google, which is nice, but then let's have a look at the things that are being cited. SEMrush is being cited, and if I take a look at how they're writing their content, well, let's take a look at the H2, meaning a header. They're asking a question, how AI search differentiates from traditional search, and let's look at the first sentence that's provided below that. AI search answers a user's query by interpreting intent, retrieving information from credible sources, and composing a response. They're answering that right away. They didn't start with, well, in the day and age of AI search engines. No fluff. They just got straight to the point. So when you're writing content next time, keep that strategy in mind. The second thing that you want to keep in mind is you want to speak robot. Now, what I mean here is you want to have the correct schema, and if you can, you want to do everything else possible within your control to be AI search engine friendly. Now, I've done a bunch of videos about Schema. Schema is essentially this tiny bit of code that you place in all the important pages that tells Google instantly and exactly what is on that page. But let me go through the other strategy that you can do today that is very easy to execute. And that is adding what's called a little llm.txt file in your website. Now, there's a lot of debate about this in the internet, whether it actually helps or not, but it's just a good thing to do, and it's very, very easy to install. Essentially, it's just a little text file that summarizes what is on the page and helps the AI search engines easier understand what it is that you offer. Now, if you have a WordPress website, it is very easy to add an llm.txt file. You want to install Yoast, and the free version of that plugin is more than enough. Go to Yoast, you want to go to your settings, and you want to go scroll all the way down until you see this little guy here, llm.txt. By default, it is disabled. You want to enable it by clicking that button, and that is it. Now you're optimizing for the AI search engine because you've got an llm.txt file. Let's run quickly to see if your website has the right schema. Like I said, schema is a tiny bit of code. The first thing you want to do is verify if your website or the web page that you want to rank has the right one. Let's take this page for example. What I'm going to do is use one of Google's free tests called the Rich Results Test. I'm going to leave the link for this below as well. You put your URL in there and you go test URL. It's going to take a little while, and you might get a little bit of a report like this, where there is some items that are detected, but some are invalid. We have a little bit of work to do here. There is no FAQ schema done correctly. There is a breadcrumb schema. Now, there is hundreds and hundreds of different schema. How do you know which one's the right one for you? Well, what I like to do is very easily, if I ask ChatGPT, I've got Atlas installed, or you can throw the URL into ChatGPT and just ask it, take a look at this page and tell me all the different types of schema or structured data that this page should have. I'm going to hit enter, let ChatGPT do its thing, and it should give me a list of all the schemas that I should have on this page. A schema you want to place on the header of each page, and really you want to place it on the important pages, meaning all your services pages, for example. And here, for example, there's a few schemas that this page is missing. Mortgage broker schema, organization schema, contact point, area served, offer schema, financial product schema. So there's a lot there. And these are all little things that are going to improve your chances to show up in the AI search engines when somebody's looking for the service in this location. And finally, we need to talk about entity optimization. See, the AI search engines trust large entities. You need to think of your brand, whether it's a personal brand or a business brand, as an entity, and it needs to be everywhere. You can't just optimize for Google, but you need to be on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Reddit, guest posts on Instagram, absolutely on all the places. And I know this can get a little bit daunting. That's why we try to automate these things as much as possible. And you want to be as efficient and effective with your time. Let's say you created a YouTube video. Well, you also want to turn that YouTube video into a blog post. Let me show you a quick strategy on how to do that very easily. Let's say I'm looking through my YouTube channel, and let's say I want to turn this video into a blog post. Well, I know that YouTube has the transcription somewhere, so I'm going to grab the URL and I'm going to go to this free website that turns the YouTube video instantly into a transcript. It's going to crawl it, and I can download this file as a TXT format. That's more than enough. I can throw that downloaded TXT file into your AI of preference. I'm going to use ChatGPT for this instance and say, hey, help me turn this text file into an optimized blog post. Now, obviously, don't just leave it there. Go and write this content together with ChatGPT. The idea is for you to use AI as a co-writer, as an extension of your writing, not as a replacement. But this is just one way where you can speed up that process. Another little trick as well is when you publish this blog post, you want to embed the YouTube video about this in this blog post. This will give you a nice little boost in your SEO for that blog post. And short form content really helps these days. Some queries show up short form content such as YouTube Shorts, TikTok, and Instagram Reels first, as opposed to even Google AI overviews. What I like to do, and it's a bit of a cheat, is I have a system installed with a platform called repurpose.io, where all I need to do is choose one platform of choice when it comes to short form content, for example, TikTok. And when I publish something to TikTok, this is going to automatically repurpose that correctly to YouTube Shorts, to Facebook Reels, and to Instagram Reels. Now, the performance will definitely vary into each platform, but it's a nice, easy way to repurpose all that content, and easily and automatically my entity is getting bigger because all of my content is on as many platforms as I can be. Now, like I said, there is a lot more nuances to SEO. I recommend you start with the free 3-hour tutorial that I've linked below. And if you want a little bit more help and a little bit more guided advice with live SEO sessions that you can join in, I can take a look at your website and give you personal feedback, consider joining our school community. I'll leave a link to that below. If you've got any questions about what I talked about, make sure you leave it in the comments and I'll answer you as soon as I can. Peace.